podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.
Hello, and welcome to episode 363. It's a palindrome of Film Bastards. My name is Ian Loring, and as always, I am joined by
Becky Foster. Hello, everybody.
I'm Matt Foster. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone. We hope you're safe and well. Hands up, who's shortly going to be in a local lockdown? Me! Yay. I'm Ian, and who knows if I'll ever go to the cinema again. We shall find out. What fun. Coming up this week, we've got reviews of films you don't need to go to the cinema for, like The Babysitter, Killer Queen, and Deep Blue Sea, Free. But also a film that you do have to go to the cinema for, which is kind of surprising because I kind of bet in normal times you wouldn't have to go to a cinema to see it. We'll talk about it though. It's Sally Potter's The Road's Not Taken. Javier Bardem's got Asperger's. Will Elle Fanning be able to handle him? Let's find out. Also, not Asperger's, Alzheimer's.
I was a bit confused by that. I wasn't going to correct you, but yeah.
I did think, shit, did I miss that?
Yeah. Shit, I'm sure it's dementia.
Yep. Straight up, he's got dementia. Is she going to be able to find him? He's gone out without his shoes. Also, spoiler alert, trailer talk. We'll do some what we've been watching. I've got one. And some other things. Also a bit of a show announcement, which is actually quite exciting and surprising. Mark and I, and Mark by extension Becky and I, have managed to get London Film Festival accreditation for the year, which is lovely. So have Jordan and so have Noel. So we'll probably do some collaborative stuff around that. And we don't know we don't know exactly how the screening's going to work yet. The vast majority of content, and it is a limited slate, will be available on the digital viewing library. There are some films though that it looks like will have a very, very limited accessibility to watch online. So Nomadland, Soul, I believe American Utopia, and I'm missing another one. What am I thinking of? Portrait of a Winslet on Ronan.
What's that actually called?
Ammonite.
That was it.
Ian's title's better.
My title is better. So yeah, we will see what exactly happens with being able to see those. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure American Utopia is the fourth. I've been thinking for the last few days of the fourth one. I'm pretty sure it's that. However, you can definitely expect us to talk about Brandon Cronenberg's Possessor, Relic starring Emily Mortimer. There's a film Supernova, which is Colin Firth and Stanley Tucci as a gay couple. I want to watch that.
I very much want to watch that.
There's plenty of other stuff as well. They are doing screenings in London and at cinemas across the country, in all fairness. The new Steve McQueen one, which I think is part of an anthology, but they're showing Mangrove, I believe, as well. So there's some interesting looking stuff, to be fair. Having a more condensed slate, I think, has kind of thrown up some really really good stuff. So yeah, we'll be doing some LFF coverage in October. Mark, have I or Becky, have I missed anything there that you guys have spotted and gone, oh, that looks interesting?
Yeah, Bex, which one?
No, I just wanted to see what the animated one was.
Soul and Wolfwalkers.
Oh, Wolfwalkers looks interesting.
Yeah. Is that?
Song of the Sea, yeah.
Yeah, is that the Secret of Kells people?
I think so.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be watching that.
Got a little soft spot for Secret of Kells.
Yeah, that what is it as well? Friendship's Death.
Yes.
I'm up for that.
Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah,
One Man on His Shoes. Is it about Leo from Twin Peaks?
no, it's not about Leo from Twin Peaks. Just on an infinite search for new shoes.
I'd definitely watch that.
Yeah.
New shoes.
And we've got fucking new Abel Ferrara movie. That's
the Willem Dafoe one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm always up for new Abel on there. So yeah, there's plenty out there, and it's always gonna be nice to just go. Do you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna give out that's on. Let's give it a go.
Well, depending on what the availability is like for actually watching them, everything.
Yeah, anything that takes a fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like everything other than those four I mentioned will be available on the library for the duration of like the festival, and usually they put them out a bit before the festival as well to get coverage ready for when the festival starts. And it starts in mid-October. So I usually the screener library is open from end of September, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's stuff available in the next couple of weeks. So there will be probably some stuff that we're not allowed to talk about until it's shown or like the day of at the festival. But I don't know, maybe we could like record in advance or something like that. I don't know, we'll sort things out. But yeah, you can expect like after years of me getting a fucking LFF press pass and then work getting in the way, it's going to be really fun to just like have a more relaxed way of, okay, I'm in the mood for this. I can watch it and give it its full due. And I think the idea of essentially online press screenings is a fucking fantastic one. And yeah, I mean, like Soul, I'm really looking forward to Soul. I've got no idea what it is because the marketing so far hasn't really said what it's actually about. So that will be fun. Ammonite seems to be getting some pretty mixed reviews, which is a shame. But people seem to be raving about Nomadland, so I'm very much looking forward to that. And American Utopia, people seem to fucking adore as well.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to American Utopia.
Yeah. I mean, Spike Lee doing a David Byrne concert film. Fucking hell. Go on then. Yeah.
David Byrne's got form for these concert movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not making sense. It is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we I think we've got some really good coverage, which is great because everything seems to be getting delayed again, or there's talk of everything getting delayed again. But at least October, it seems like we're going to have some good content.
Yeah.
Between that, the Blumhouse films on Amazon, fucking Rebecca, what's the other one that had the trailer?
Is that out?
Yeah, Trial of the Chicago 7. That's it, October 16th.
Yeah.
So you got that, and then Rebecca the week after.
Rumours. There are strong rumours that when they first posted the trailer for Trial of the Chicago 7 online on YouTube, there was a link at the bottom that when you clicked on it, it went to cinemas showing in the UK. And so there's a rumour that in selected cinemas in September and October is going to be UK based.
Which is fucking fascinating. If I can get to see it.
Oh yeah, it does actually say, but not for him.
I mean, to be fair, Showcase are one of those chains that show like Sky Cinema films when they have their own releases. Like the week they come out in on Sky, they show them. They seem pretty loosey goosey. You'd like to think that given the current situation, cinemas might be a bit more fucking amenable to, yeah, all right, then we'll show a Netflix film for a few weeks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so October's looking promising, which is good because who the fuck knows whether Death on the Nile comes out now. Like, there have been rumours for days about Black Widow moving. And then But then No Time to Die, they seem very, very hot on. It is coming out in November. They seem very, very, very firm on that. And the good thing about No Time to Die is the US is not its main market.
No.
I reckon they have to pay Daniel Craig more if it goes past a certain point.
You wouldn't be surprised, yeah.
Mm.
If they've gone, if he's gone, I am not promoting it. I am not even talking about it. I don't even want to appear on a poster after 2020.
I will actively come out and badmouth it.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, he must be so pleased that he can now schedule the press he does for it basically around him.
Yeah.
Mm.
And half of it, I reckon he'll just go, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
No, I mean,
And then literally, when they go, you've got to, he'll go, all right, I will. And then miraculously, it'll be like, my internet cut out.
yeah, oh yeah,
That,
no.
What, sat in your own home and doing an interview over Zoom? Yeah, it feels a bit risky. I'm not going to do it.
No, he literally will cut down the nearest mobile tower and sever his fibre optic connection.
Yeah.
I mean, he might be saving us all if it's a 5G one.
You can imagine there the local councillor coming up and going, you literally cut down a mast, and him going, yeah, I know, but they paid me that much that I am willing to repair that for you. Here's 2 million quid. Now just don't repair it for the next 6 weeks.
He lives out near your dad, doesn't he? I
does,
reckon his internet connection's quite spotty anyway.
It's spotty anyway, yeah. Yeah, he does live about 10 minutes away from my dad.
Oh dear. Yeah. So the Candyman delay hadn't been announced this time last week, had it?
No.
I'm sorry, Bex.
Right, just bring it
We
all
can't-
up again.
I will say this for the Candyman thing. The one thing the one positive I am taking from it is that movie must be fucking brilliant.
But yeah.
For them to not have just gone, do you know what, we're just gonna put it on premium VOD.
I won't pay for it. I won't pay 30 quid for it. To watch
I
it.
fucking would.
I want to see it in a fucking cinema.
I'd just do it again at the cinema when it came out.
Yeah, it's it's so I'm so conflicted because all this time I've been like, let's get cinemas open, let's get films back in the cinemas, blah blah blah. But do you know what? The box office reception of Tenet in the US. No, the US isn't everywhere, but I can see why studios have been scared off.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't work. I thought it was going to, and it didn't. It's done well. The thing is, it has done very well internationally, but the problem is that film is not universally adored, and it's not having the legs that they thought it was going to. Couple that with the fact that Mulan, it did 25 million in China in its opening weekend, which doesn't sound bad, but it's bad for what that film was. Like, it's really bad for what that film was. So but then as well, Mulan's Disney Plus opening wasn't very big either. So that they are caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. But at the same time, the studios can't just sit on these things forever, because people will be taken in by other things. You know, they're not necessarily going to be that in. Like, A Quiet Place Part 2, by the time it comes out, if it comes out in like October 2021, I don't know, is it not just going to feel fucking like, what, that? Jesus Christ, all right, why is that coming out? You know, people are almost going to forget that it was supposed to come out.
Mm.
I constantly keep on forgetting that it was supposed to come out.
Literally, there were you could book tickets for it on the Cineworld app. It was that close to coming out.
I think we had tickets booked for it, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. It's the thing is, the problem with A Quiet Place 2 is A Quiet Place made so much money that now they pumped a lot of money into A Quiet Place 2, but I would still be gobsmacked if the budget of that movie is above $50-60 million.
Mm.
I mean, John Krasinski can go fuck himself. So, as a slight tangent, that shit about his Some Good News thing that he did at the start of lockdown, and then like did a few episodes of it, then stopped it, then sold the concept.
Yeah.
And he hasn't, he hasn't said that he's giving the money for that to charity or anything like that. It was like, right, okay, well done, you profiteered from the fucking pandemic.
Yeah, that didn't land very well.
I didn't
Did
know
it?
about that. Yeah. All right, fuck that guy. His weird face.
Weird face. Ian's just jealous though because he gets to fuck Emily Blunt.
I mean, I don't know, man. To be fair, my fantasies of Emily Blunt don't involve me being married to her. Like, it's nah. So, to be fair enough, because it still gives, it gives me more of an erection knowing she's married.
Okay, fair enough.
That's fair. Yeah, but if there is Quiet Place 2, just doesn't need to be delayed.
That's it. I'd watch it right now. Will I watch it in a year?
Yeah, probably, but
it wouldn't be my priority.
No,
like, if it was up against something else.
yeah, if it came out the same week as something else, there's chances that something else would probably win out. Because
there's so much congestion.
Yeah.
There is going to be so much congestion when these things start coming out.
I think they're shooting themselves in the foot a lot of the time.
I do.
With the mid-budget stuff, I think they're shooting themselves in the foot.
I don't know. It's, if Mulan had done well, Disney would have already said we're dropping Black Widow on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah.
They would have already made that decision, and they haven't because it hasn't done as well as they thought it was going to, and it spooked them. But it's like,
the point was too high though. If they charged a reasonable amount to watch that, X amount to members, X plus amount to non-members, they would have made out quite well. But they overcharged for it massively.
I mean, that's the thing. It's the it's the perception, isn't it? If you said, right, if you don't subscribe to Disney Plus, you can have this for 25 quid. If you subscribe to Disney Plus, you can have it for 15.
Yeah. I think that the over £20 mark was too much for people.
For people that are already paying a membership, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So for that month to watch Mulan that you can watch by Christmas anyway.
Yeah.
And it's Mulan. It's not Frozen 2
Yeah.
or Black Widow.
Yeah. It's not a fucking Marvel movie, and it's not.
I was very much looking forward to Mulan. But in terms of for the people they're trying to get to go and watch it, it was always a bit of a punt into the wind anyway.
Yeah. I think it would have been a better experience seeing it on a big screen as well.
It fucking would have elevated that film so much if you'd seen that on a big screen. It was anyway. What trailers have we got this week?
There's a few. We have Freaky.
Fucking go on then. Yes, please. I'll have it. Thank you.
I'll happily go and watch that. Yeah. I basically a Freaky Friday rip-off that they've freely admitted by calling it Freaky. But a Freaky Friday horror movie. Yeah, go on then.
Same director as Happy Death Day.
Yeah.
He's been talking this week about Happy Death Day 3.
Yeah, saying that it's still happening, isn't it?
Watch the shit out of that.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm up for Freaky. Do you know what? I'll watch Hubie Halloween.
I will absolutely fucking not.
I will. Do you know why I'll watch it? Because me and Ian have watched every other Adam Sandler Netflix movie.
I'd be tempted to burn the house down while my cat and my dog while you watch that movie.
Yeah, I'd still be waving you through the window.
You want to die.
No, I won't.
For watching Hubie Halloween. It looks fucking awful.
Yeah, I'll bang up for it.
Yeah, I will.
I'll burn your house down too.
I will laugh easily enough in that movie, and I know I will. And I'll be sat there going, I should probably hate myself right now, but I just don't.
I'll be stood outside here with Donna, Lottie, and Kiki, just going, "I'm sorry, Donna, I had to do it," and she'd be like, "It's completely understandable."
I mean, to be fair, I was watching the film that I'll talk about later the other night, and Donna walked in. She was like, "What's this?" And I described the plot of it, and then she just fucking looked at me and like barely made a noise, and then just went, "Have fun," and just walked out.
Literally, I know that exact look.
You live in that.
I do, yeah. my oxygen.
You're a delightful idiot, are you?
Apparently, yeah. Trial of the Chicago 7.
Yeah.
An Aaron Sorkin courtroom drama.
It looks really good, this, to be fair.
Yeah.
Cast's really good as well.
Cast is fantastic. Eddie Redmayne doesn't look simpering in it. I think Eddie Redmayne doing an accent that isn't the one he does in Jupiter Ascending might make him a little bit less like you go, oh, just go away.
Just fucking die.
Yeah. Just sliver behind the corner.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm very up for this. I really liked, what was it? His last movie. Molly's Game. Yeah, I really like Molly's Game. As a directorial piece, and he's a fantastic writer. It's always, but it's going to be snappy as hell, that dialogue.
Yeah, it looks really, really good.
Yeah.
If it lands, it like that thing could ride the next 6 months out to Oscar.
Yeah.
Like if that thing lands in the way it kind of feels like it's going to. I mean, it's even though it does weird me out that Paramount sold it, but I do wonder if there was a case of Paramount going, we've got a lot of shit backed up here. Let's let Netflix have this and we can bask in the reflected glory of any Oscar it gets.
I think there was a little bit of that. I think, from what I understand, is Netflix basically went, right, what's your budget on it? And it did go a little bit over budget. And they went, right, we'll give you that plus whatever percentage.
Yeah.
And they went, all right, fuck it, yeah.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Netflix, man. Fucking October. Like, it just... I know, we've said this many times, but I know people fucking decry Netflix for all sorts of reasons. But fucking hell, man. Like, they are coming out there with the content. And, you know, a lot of it is filler. But you've also got Christmas Chronicles 2 coming in November. You know, I mean, you know, you got Hubie Halloween, Trial of the Chicago 7, and Rebecca, week. You know, like...
Yeah.
You know,
and obviously this week you've got
Devil All the Time.
Devil All the Time.
Yeah. I was just looking for that, actually. Is that today?
It goes back
today.
Yeah. So what else have we had trailer-wise? The Father, the Anthony Hopkins might get an Oscar nomination, probably won't win it because he'll be a little bit too eccentric in the film.
With that line that haunted you.
What? Which one?
This is my apartment.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah. That's a great fucking line delivery. Have you seen the trailer of this, Ian?
Not yet, no.
There's a fucking line delivery where it's like a big build-up in the trailer. It's like the halfway point in the trailer where you've got all of the, what's happening? And then you get, it says, do you know what he wants? He says, my apartment. This is my apartment, isn't it? And it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
You look at going, all right, yeah.
It's a good line delivery.
I will watch the shit out of Hopkins doing that.
I like Anthony Hopkins. You don't.
I
You
don't.
can't forgive him for Silence of the Lambs, can you?
No, it's not Silence of the Lambs. What my issue with Hopkins is he spent an awful lot of time riding the wave of Silence of the Lambs.
It's a good wave to ride.
And that's fine. But what happened with him was people basically anointed him as being this amazing actor. It's the same thing as you got with people like Richard D. Grant and people like that. And it's like...
Richard D. Grant's a pretty fucking good actor.
And it's like, right, are they that good though? Or were they just good in something and then have been mediocre for 20 years?
He's really good in that. What's that film that he's in with...
Spice World.
That film that he's in with...
Jesus.
Lucy McCarthy.
Ryan Gosling.
Oh.
Fracture.
Yes,
Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah. But yeah, Father. Yeah, I'm up for that.
Yeah, definitely.
What else have we got? Love and Monsters.
The fuck's that? It's the title of a really bad Doctor Who episode.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's actually the title of a really dodgy looking movie.
Yeah, it doesn't look great, does it?
No, it doesn't look great.
I can't even... we watched the trailer yesterday and I can't even remember what it's about now.
I think we watched it because that guy was in Maze Runner, wasn't he?
Yeah, this is the movie I think that he...
It's not, no.
It's not.
It was a Maze Runner sequel that he got injured in.
He annihilated his face.
It's one back.
Annihilate his face.
He did. I like him as a decent actor. He's very good in the first Maze Runner.
It's just a very harsh way of describing his fucking injury.
Way harsh.
Becky made me watch a trailer for a YouTube documentary
I'm intrigued.
called
by
This Is Paris. The Paris Hilton You Never Knew. It's a documentary by Paris Hilton about Paris Hilton that basically tries to convince you that Paris Hilton was like an alter ego character she's been playing all these years, while still looking exactly like Paris Hilton.
She's not gonna fucking get plastic surgery and change her face, is
No,
she?
but she could not dress exactly like Paris Hilton. If it's a character and it's an alter ego, do you know what? Then break the fuck out of it. Or is this just, how can I explain the fact that I was a dick for 10 years?
I think it sounds quite interesting. So, fuck you. Oh, yeah, there's that one as well.
Oh, the comeback trail.
That looks really good.
I am fucking so up for the
Yeah.
comeback trail.
Yeah. There's a trailer kicking around for Nomadland, isn't there? But I'm so bored of older actresses just doing film roles where they don't wear any makeup that I can't brought a movie and able to bring myself to watch
Well, we're going to be
Ian.
watching it next month, baby.
it.
Ian, have you watched the trailer for the comeback trail?
Yes.
Yeah, what did you think? Because I'm so up for it.
I mean, I'm not surprised you're up for it in the slightest. I'll watch it.
You're not keen for this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It looks all right. Yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, just I think of the Grandpa Next Door, and then I think of the Comeback Trail, and I don't know why, but I think both of them have got Zach Braff in, and they don't. One of them's got Zach Braff in. Which one's got Zach Braff in?
Comeback trail, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, he basically, they've made it look like him and De Niro are father and son for some reason. And I'm hoping that is gonna get brought up in the movie.
I've no interest in watching that Grandad one where he's like a badass granddad, but this actually looks really funny.
Which one?
Is that not the Grandpa Next Door? That De Niro's in?
He's in a couple of Grandpa ones. He's in Dirty Grandpa, which was great.
Which is shit.
It's brilliant.
It's fucking awful.
It's fantastic. And War with Grandpa.
Oh god, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That was horrific.
The hell, I'm looking forward to watching that as well, Tim.
Right, on your own.
I don't care. I'll watch loads of shit on my own.
So yeah.
You said that as if it was like the coolest thing in the world when it's really not.
To me, it is.
Yeah, I mean, I fucking don't throw stones in glass houses, but I don't know, just sounded funny. Right, let's do some reviews.
Yes.
Let's do some reviews. Let's start with the film that everyone wants to hear us talk about. Sally Potter's The Road's Not Taken, starring Javier Bardem, Elle Fanning, Salma Hayek, Laura Linney, and others. Spoiler alert, folks, I don't think we're going to be talking about this one for very long. So, it stars Javier Bardem, and yet, until I literally opened up the Cineworld app to see what was playing this week and saw Sally Potter's directed a film with Javier Bardem where he stars as a guy suffering from dementia. What? So, Javier Bardem, his daughter Elle Fanning, she's trying to take him out to do things through the day. He's kind of succumbing to his dementia and remembering things that he had done in his earlier life. The road's not taken, if you will. And Elle Fanning kind of realizes through the course of the film that, unfortunately, it seems like her dad is kind of gone. And she tries to revive bits of him through chatting to him. Bex, The Road's Not Taken. Now, to be clear, I said to Mark, actually, I think I said in the chat with both of you guys, you don't need to see The Road's Not Taken, and yet you went to see it anyway. So tell me, was I wrong?
I actually really, really loved The Road's Not Taken.
Oh,
I really
fucking good for
enjoyed it.
you. All right.
Yeah. I think dementia films are a bit of a they're a bit of a kind of pressure point for me. Like, it really scares me. I think this is the Notebook is to blame for this.
I made you watch the Notebook.
You made me watch the Notebook, and obviously
I'm the one guy on the planet who had to convince his girlfriend to watch the Notebook.
But yeah, obviously, just getting a little bit off topic for a second, The Notebook is a film about a couple that have been together for all their lives, and then one of them gets dementia and forgets the other one, and then briefly remembers, and they both die together. Like, and as someone who has been with their partner since being 16 years old, the thought of getting to the end of my life and then completely forgetting you, or vice versa, fills me with absolute fucking blood cold terror.
Do you know the first thing when I get dementia and I get my little dementia notebook that you have to write all the bits in, you do realise the first thing that I will write in it was, remember you have dementia, fuck with Becky all you can.
Yeah. You're a dickhead, you do that anyway. Have you got dementia, Mark?
And then literally, you'd come and I'm like, who are you again? You'd be like, oh, I don't know if he's fucking with me or not.
But Bex, we don't exist. We're entirely in his head.
Oh my god. So dementia films I generally find really quite sad and depressing, but I think just the way this one was framed, like it feels a bit more kind of a lot of movies about dementia. It's like, oh, this person did this silly thing, and then we all laughed, and ultimately we all loved each other, and it was all very joyous. This is kind of it's not like that. It's more kind of, you know,
miserable.
Dealing, yeah, but real.
Yeah, but I don't mean it as a negative.
Like dealing with her dad ends up losing her a really good job, and then she has to make a decision about whether she wants to continue being there all the time or walk away, and that's ultimately the decision that is the last shot of the movie, with her sat on the bed watching herself walk away.
Yeah.
And you know, the fact
which I thought was bold that Sally Potter decided to set up a sequel within her own movie. Like, I mean,
I don't think that's what it was, but it was very much a look. It's not just people in this situation that have a road's not taken. Everyone does, and the fact that because obviously his mind's a bit shattered, he's living his roads not taken a bit more than everyone else does, instead of just thinking about it in his mind, gosh, what would have happened if. He's actually living those lives in his head. I just thought it was really well done and really quite sensitively handled.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, all right, Mark, what do you think?
I actually, I kind of enjoyed it.
For a movie as bleak as it is, and about, it's quite enjoyable, isn't it?
It is in a way of. It's a day in the life story, and I always quite like day in the life stories. I always do spend, and I said this to you, Vex, the first sort of 5 or 10 minutes of any Javier Barden movie trying to work out if he's really fucking handsome or if he's really not fucking handsome. And I am still of the opinion that Javier Bardem is one of the weird people in the world.
He's Schrodinger's Bardem.
Yeah, he is. He's Schrodinger's Bardem. He's both really fucking handsome and really not a good-looking man at exactly the same time. It just doesn't make sense.
He must be good-looking, though, because he's banging Penelope Cruz.
And I said to you, literally said, again, didn't I, when I watched the movie, there is no... If you were to look at Penelope Cruz and listen to Penelope Cruz talking like that, and then you were to say, what does Penelope Cruz's husband look like? It would be Javier Bardem. They are a perfect couple together, and I bet they have wonderful, beautiful children. But yeah,
all you have to remember when you're having that conversation with yourself about Javier Bardem is just find in your brain a shot of him in, is it No Country, where he's got that awful hair.
But then he has that conversation with the old man in the, what is it, in the...
kind of the petrol station.
Petrol station, yeah. And you watch it going, all right, this guy's kind of fucking captivating. I can see how it works. The hair works now.
The hair doesn't work in any scenario.
It does a little bit. It starts to work.
No.
It's like a bad sweater. Eventually, it becomes a good sweater. No. But yeah, I enjoyed its kind of like its floatiness. The fact that it just kind of floats through, and there's very few kind of moments of levity with it. It is just even all of the bits of Elle Fanning trying to just fucking get through it.
She's such a good daughter in this.
And trying to kind of like...
And Laura Linney's such a twat.
but I kind of like that.
Yeah, you did like that.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
Yeah, of course you did.
You watched it going, fucking hell, I want more of Laura Linney.
I'd just undivorce her and go back to her.
Just Laura Linney just fucking chewing him out about stuff.
You're a dickhead and you're only doing this to make me feel guilty.
Yeah.
Now I've genuinely got dementia. Fuck you.
That's an act. Yeah, I liked it. It is helped by the fact that it's 85 minutes long.
Oh my god.
But yeah,
It flies though. That 85 minutes absolutely
it does.
flies.
Of all of the bits though, the main story works. The
Mexico.
Mexico one didn't quite work for me.
I don't know. See, the Greece
No.
one didn't quite work for me.
Well, it did feel a little bit like, why does everybody in Hollywood, or even say what is not Hollywood as to say, but why does every Westerner think that that's what Mexico has to look like all of the time?
Well, that's what his
It
brain
all
Mexico
has to
looks
be.
like.
It all has to be sandy coloured. That's the grading of it. Sandy coloured.
But like we were saying, weren't we? Like if you were going to imagine what the roads not taken would end up,
Yeah.
would you imagine yourself growing old with Salma Hayek? Fine, and then having your son die? Probably not. Or dying freezing to death on a boat. Like it's not even like.
Try to have a
even
conversation
in
with girls that remind you of your daughter.
Yeah, but it's not even like in his brain he can come up with a happy ending
No.
for himself.
He's
Because his actual happy ending is being with Molly, and then he remembers the name, and she cries, and it's all very the whole thing.
Ian, what did you think?
I'm glad you guys liked it as much as you did. I thought even at 85 minutes it kind of stretched things. In all honesty, I think the Greece section was poor. And the Mexico section, I don't know. Just yeah, I mean, I get what you mean, Mark, about the way that it's depicted. It does feel very just derivative of what you've seen before. And I mean, Elle Fanning's character kind of only comes into her own at the end there. But I thought like the like people dealing with his dementia aspect and how hard that was. I thought that stuff was quite compelling. Like the bit with the optometrist where like he's trying to get him to rest his head on the thing. And then, like, the optometrist kind of mutters something under his breath at some point, like, oh, for God's sake, or something like that, you know. It's like that whole, yeah, that kind of, like, social realism of you know, not wanting to, like, just go, what the fuck is wrong with you? But at the same, you know, but trying to contain that. I thought that was interesting. Even though, to be fair, I think Elle Fanning could have made it a lot easier on herself if she said, my father suffers from dementia. I'm really sorry. This is hard. Like, I appreciate this is hard work. You know, but yeah, I don't know. It was, maybe I wasn't quite in the right headspace for the film. I don't know, but it just felt a bit Javier Bardem trying to impress by being a guy with dementia. He didn't feel authentic to me. But I
will admit there, I think the weakest performance in the entire movie is Javier Bardem, and I usually like Javier Bardem once I can work out if he's handsome or not. But I do think he was. I thought Elle Fanning was very good in the fact.
No, she was. Sorry.
As the movie goes on, she's getting more and more just bogged down with it, and more drawn looking, even though it's just a day.
Yeah.
And it was just like, even like when she gets that phone call towards the start, and it's just like, look, I'll be in the office by lunchtime. I've got a few things to do. It was like, right, I know where this is going. She's going to get phone calls through the day when she's getting delayed and whatnot. Then she's going to be let go. Like I knew straight away that's where that's going, and I get why they did that. But I don't know. It felt uninspired. There's a great deal of this film that did just feel uninspired to me, but. If it was a day in the life as opposed to going into his head like that, I don't know. I think I would have got more out of it, to be fair. But I like I said, I'm glad you guys like it. It's not a bad film. I I don't know. It kind of feels like it was one of those ones that it's like being released towards the end of the year, and they're hoping to get some awards kind of like traction for it. And then you watch that film, and it's like, why?
It does feel like one of those movies that that the Guardian will go, oh, this could be a bit of an awards teaser, and it's just not going to be.
Yeah, it's exactly that.
It will end up on a few people's best of lists, but it's people who don't want to admit that they really fucking enjoyed Spencer Confidential.
Nobody enjoyed Spencer Confidential apart from you, Mark.
Mark enjoyed it for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. I will be the one person that when the first trailer for Spencer Confidential 2 comes out, I'll be like, yes! And which everyone on Twitter will be saying, who do they make these movies for? And I'll just be sat there going, this dickhead.
You are a dickhead, so.
But I liked an art house movie.
You did? Well done. See, now I'm worried that you're faking it.
No.
Just to kind of get your art house cred back.
No.
Well, after that slam he had on it.
That was so funny.
I did enjoy that.
Is there a whole conversation going on about me that I don't know about? Yes, Mark. Yes, there is.
So Craig Dawson, I believe, with that fucking zinger on Twitter, which
It was a good one, actually. I was like, I literally read it and went, hey, that's wildly accurate.
Yeah, it's just to give some context for people who don't know. We tweeted out about LFF, and then Craig just tweeted back saying, "Well, it's just going to be Mark shitting on art house films, isn't it?" It's like, yeah, it's that Nathan Fillion gif or meme of
Yeah.
him like looking to say something and just being unable to. It's that. I'm quite looking forward to you watching some of these, Mark. I've got to say.
It's gonna be a journey we're all gonna go on, and some of us will wish to have not gone on that journey afterwards.
I'm looking forward to being called a dinosaur for not loving Portrait of a Winslet on Ronan.
I'm already not liking that. I've watched that film already, but better.
Because it had hot French chicks in it.
Well, yeah.
Let's be honest, it is better because it had hot French chicks in it.
It is better because it had hot French chicks in it. I have no interest in watching a love scene between an anorexic Irish girl and an old lady.
That's really.
I'm really glad that it was the girl that said that.
Wow. Sorry, that took a couple of seconds to land. Saoirse Ronan's not anorexic.
Oh, she's so skinny. Girl needs to eat a pie or a sandwich or something.
Deary me. Right. Yeah. Mildly, definitely not shit for me.
Well, I'm definitely not shit, yeah.
Definitely not shit,
Definitely not shit. I'm glad we watched it.
I'm really glad we watched it, actually, yeah, because we were, with the whole foot incident, we were kind of, will we be able to, will we not, kind of thing, weren't we? And I'm really glad we actually...
Yeah, I get on with Sally Potter movies a lot anyway. So
I don't think I've watched any of them.
I've got on with... I've not watched all of them, but I've got on with what I've watched.
Fair play.
I think she's quite a... I don't know, she's got a definite style about her that she's got that's there. But her movies do seem to have just a very much a pace of their own. She's never trying to build tension or anything like that. She's just going, this is the story I'm going to tell you. Which I kind of dig.
Yeah, slice of life kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Did you do the poll?
Good.
Yeah. The poll result was touching cloth 100%.
It was.
One vote.
I got into a refresh.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got refreshing the pain in the ass of this thing. Yeah, it's still saying touching cloth 100%.
Oh.
Okay.
The Mulberry Boys every Friday night. On the show, you better know they keep it tight. ETL is back and the J-Strom's in the zone. Introduce the co-host, he doesn't do it alone. PCZ is about to hold court. You know he's on the headset, you can hear him snort. Pop culture, movies, TV shows, and games. Rotten Tomatoes, reviews, news, and Blu-rays. Foggy don't play around, he will bust a drop fast. Welcome to the Entertainment Landfill Podcast, the Jason and Steven Show. It's the Jason and Steven Show. What? The Jason and Steven Show. It's the Jason and Steven Show.
Are you a craft beer junkie?
Do you eagerly anticipate the freshest IPA release from your local craft brewer?
Do you check in every beer you've ever had on Untapped?
Do you know the difference between a Belgian triple and a Berliner Weisse?
Then do we have a podcast for you? What's Untapped podcast gives you beer reviews, interviews with brewers, behind the scenes access to beer festivals, games, and more. Whether you're a craft beer junkie or new to the world of craft brewing, What's Untapped podcast is something for you.
Check us out online, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and now we are podsyndicate.com. And as always, keep drinking, you dum-dums.
Let's move on to The Babysitter Killer Queen, directed by Mukchi and starring a bunch of people whose names I don't have because I don't have IMDb open.
It's Judah Lewis, Emily Ann Lind, who else got? Robbie Amell, Leslie Bibb, Bella Thorne, Samara Weaving, and
Ken Marino.
Ken Marino, yeah, and other people.
So,
Chris
thank
Wilde.
you, Mark. The Babysitter Killer Queen is set 2 years after The Babysitter. The lead kid from The Babysitter now looks old enough to fuck.
That kid does not fuck.
But he does look. He is quite a handsome man, though.
He's fine. He's
He's
a bit fucking wet, doesn't he? He wears that fucking suit thing to the beach.
He's supposed
The
to
brown
be.
corduroy thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So, the events of the first one, people didn't believe him. He's basically been bullied at school for a couple of years. But the girl from the first one is still his friend. Tries to get him to kind of come out of his shell a little bit. Go to a beach house, go to a beach cruise thing or something. And wouldn't you know it, a bunch of the folks from the first one are back to try and get revenge. So we were fans of The Babysitter, the first one, on the show when we reviewed it a couple of years back. And
Yep.
I know Mark in particular was really looking forward to this. So Mark, let's lead with you. What did you think of The Babysitter Killer Queen?
Well, the thing is, with this, it could have been an absolute disaster because it could have been a bit, lightning in a bottle with the first one. Because, let's be honest, a McG horror movie that's on Netflix, it didn't exactly inspire you to go, oh, that'll be great. Everyone was kind of like, holy shit, this is quite good. And it was kind of a surprise for everybody. So your sequel, you're thinking, oh, is it going to be a little bit too much? I like the fact that it's quite mad in that sense. I also like the fact that they don't try and explain too much. They just go, just go along with the ride and have a fucking laugh. We're gonna bring back the same characters, and we're gonna have them do basically the same stuff.
Yeah.
But you enjoyed it last time. Why don't you enjoy it again? I like the fact that they've broadened it out a little bit in terms of the whole first one is basically all set in the house and the surrounding area. This one they've kind of made it a little bit broader and done a little bit more with it. That's good, but it's a scattergun approach with jokes. It's throw as many out there as you fucking can.
I love the fact that the shirtless guy comes back from hell shirtless.
Shirtless.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got some great moments with shirtless guy, like the moment where he is where he's working at that fast food place, and he's just got his badge just on his chest. There, it is brilliant, and some of the best gags in it are either mildly off screen or just visual gags. You know, his entire character arc of the fact that he just fucking really likes Cole and really likes it when he stands up for himself, even if it ends up killing him.
He's so supportive.
Yeah. The fact that at the end, when it's all going wrong, the guy's dying, he's like, I'm proud of you. Well done, man. I'm glad this is how it ends. But I will say, the funniest moment of the entire movie, for me, and I had to rewind it for you, didn't I? Because I think you missed it the first time and then got it the second time. Was the bit where you've got Ken Marino and Leslie Bibb at Juan's door, and they're talking to him, trying to sort of find out if Cole is with Melanie.
Yeah.
There's a bit where they aren't even focusing on Chris Wilde, and she says, Juan, do you know what is it? And then just out of nowhere, he repeats his own name, but in a slightly different way.
It's Juan.
So he goes, Juan, off screen, and it fucking slayed me.
You did enjoy that bit, didn't you?
I couldn't stop laughing.
This is from a man who, anyone says a word that starts with W, you're like, I believe it's pronounced wild. It's not Mark, it's only if you've got a H in it that you can do that. I believe it's pronounced wood. No, it's not how it works.
Oh dear. Well, brilliant.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I like the fact that it takes a big fucking twist early on in the fucking movie that makes you go, oh, all right.
I didn't see the trailer for this because I was like, yeah, I'll watch it. There wasn't anything about that in the trailer, no?
No.
Fuck it, fair play. Fair play.
That was a complete fucking what?
Yeah, it just shows them, as bad as it just shows them back from purgatory, doesn't it?
Okay. Okay, very good. Yeah,
she's weak in comparison to Samara Weaving, but obviously we get the treat of having Samara Weaving, Hollywood skinny, back in it.
She does look too thin.
She does look too thin. But she's a delight on screen, so it was nice to have her back for 5 minutes. So.
Yeah.
And the bit where she obviously lets them all drink the blood, knowing that he's not a virgin anymore and it's gonna kill him.
Yeah.
It's great. And the fact that she's got a bit of a backstory as well, which it's backstory from the first movie, but it's obviously you don't find it out in the first movie, but she's actually not bad as such. She's done a bad thing for a good reason.
Yeah.
I think that provides a bit of But yeah, I really enjoyed it. The thing is, it's more of the same from the first one, but what it's more of the same of was really fucking good to start with. So it's still a really good time.
Yeah. It's interesting because you say more of the same and it almost sounds like you're damning it, but no, because the stuff from the first one was really fun and they just do it again. I mean, the only thing I found really wearing was them kind of talking in film references, just for the fact that kids their age don't talk in film references, and I get what they're doing because it's a film, but nah. But again, also, I mean, to be fair, the fucking dad saying Fortnite Nation, was also fucking painful. But there was almost a point to that because he is painful.
Yeah.
I had a blast with it. It's just McGee kind of doing whatever the fuck he wants. Between these two films and Top of the World, he's found this fucking bizarre Netflix niche for himself. Where he's just making these kind of teen comedies that are just odd.
Yeah. The fun thing is, Netflix are basically just going to let him do it. I think he's got another three movie deal with them, which and as long as another one is another Babysitter movie.
And I mean, and that's great. I mean, it's funny. The gore in it made me laugh out loud on a couple of occasions. that twist is great.
Yeah.
Did not see that come, because I was a little bit like, well, this is interesting because they've introduced this new girl, but then this other girl seems really into him as well. So what the fuck's going on there? So I kind of thought, shit, is like the blonde girl gonna get killed off early doors or something? And then no. All right then. I mean, the lead's a bit wet, but he's supposed to. I like the lead girl. Robbie Amell MVP again, like you said, Mark. And I know you said it, but that whole kind of like, bro, I'm not even mad at you, at the end is fantastic. I really had just a very, very fun time with this. It's during all this lockdown stuff, I'm finding myself watching a lot more light-hearted stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it's almost like I was way more into this at this point now than I probably would have been if the world was normal. And I was way less into The Road's Not Taken now than I would have been if the world was not normal.
That's fair.
Was normal even. It's I think that's just kind of just how it is at the moment. So yeah, no, I thought it was cracking. Fair play, McG. Top of the World wasn't awful. Babysitter was a lot of fun. So yeah, he's doing all right.
Yeah, I like Room in the World. It was easily fun enough to have kept my attention while it was on.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But the Babysitter, when it finished, I was very much like, do you know what? I will happily watch a third of those.
Oh God, yeah.
And even if it's just doing the same thing again but in a different location, I'd be fine with that.
You're saying like basically the Hangover trilogy, but with a babysitter.
It is a little bit like that, yeah. But then if it goes the route of the Hangover 3, it could be fucking amazing. Because Hangover 3 literally fucking what Tom Phillips did there was made an action fucking movie for no reason.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no, quite. If it's a couple of years' time, he's in college now. He's got a bunch of kind of like college roommates with him or something like that. I mean, I definitely think they need to give him a bit of a gang as well. I think that could be fun. But yeah, no, good. And it was good to see Samara Weaving there as well. There were those odd, like little flashes of her kind of through it, and it was like, that's interesting that they got her in for these quick, like 5-second bits.
We wondered, didn't we? Or I wondered to you, is it stuff they shot for the first one that they didn't use?
Yeah, you positive what is that? And I was like, I'm sure she's going to turn up in this.
Yeah, and I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the third one now. It's like, does she come back and now she's entirely evil or something like that? But maybe not. I mean, it kind of feels like Samara Weaving's probably... I mean, it's cool that she was in this. She probably didn't have to be. But it kind of feels like maybe she's starting to go to a place now where she doesn't necessarily need to be in these films. But then again, maybe she just wants to.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they went, do you know what? We'll write a bit for you, and if you can spare like a day, she has like a literally is just there quickly. The rumor is that G is positive that it might be set in hell. The next one.
Oh, that'd be great.
Where he gets transported to their place. We like the idea of maybe flipping it on its head. So it was kind of intimating that the idea might be he gets pulled down to hell to round them up and get them out of hell.
Okay.
So he's hunting them.
Oh, that'd be fun.
It'd be great if Bella Thorne just wasn't in it though, because she's problematic, isn't she?
What? Well, it depends.
Oh, is she the OnlyFans one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
in the
shit.
sense that she
Ruined a lot of people's lives.
she kind of broke OnlyFans
Yeah.
for a lot of people, for a lot of sex workers, and yeah, that's kind of not cool in that sense. Because OnlyFans is actually a brilliant is a brilliant idea and is a brilliant industry platform
Yeah.
for what it does. That is
It's a
there.
safe way for people to do.
It protects content.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that these people aren't being that their work isn't being pirated essentially, and then that pirating being celebrated in a very different way to movies being pirated.
Mm.
You know, it's So what?
Search history on Google.
My search history is fantastic on Google. So yeah, but she's very fun in this movie.
She is.
Yep.
Within context, she is fine.
Yeah.
Like if you are up for this, very, very definitely not shit.
Oh yeah, if you liked the first, I'd be surprised if you don't really like this sequel. But if you didn't like the first or you don't like this type of movie, just don't watch it.
Mm.
Watch something else.
Me on me there.
Yeah.
Definitely not shit for you, Bex.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Cracking.
Audience poll, definitely not shit, 100%.
Boom. That feels accurate.
Yeah, digging this.
Breaking news. In the US, Universal has moved up the release of the new Croods film. Was opening Christmas this year, now opening November 25th. So
Croods.
The Croods, the Nicolas Cage, Emma Stone voiced one from like the early teens, has a sequel, and even though everything is getting delayed, that fucker's coming out in November.
Oh, good. Yay.
That film's like 7 years old.
No one's asking for a sequel for this.
But listen to this voice cast though. Nick Cage, Emma Stone, Ryan Reynolds, Catherine Keener, Clark Duke, Leslie Mann, and Peter Dinklage.
They're all back in the new one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Kenny B. Tran.
Wow.
Music by Alan Silvestri.
Yeah, why not?
Fucking hell.
This is fucking. So apparently it indicates the studio's confidence that Disney will move Pixar's Soul. So this is now going to go up against No Time to Die for Thanksgiving at the US box office. The thinking is they've got that deal in the US with AMC where it plays in AMC for like 2 weeks, then it can go on VOD, so it can play in cinemas for a couple of weeks and then be on VOD for Christmas.
Fair enough. Can't really disagree with that, can you really?
It's not a bad fucking idea, that. Fair play. That is not a bad idea. So I mean, it's just like talking about this stuff again as well. It's fascinating that Warner Brothers have said, yeah, Dune's still going to come out on the 28th of December, Wonder Woman the week after. Like, what?
It's fair enough, Warner, fair enough.
And Escape Room 2 is still scheduled for December 30th in the US. Fucking, if I can watch Escape Room 2 in a cinema on New Year's Day in the UK, that would be fucking incredible. That first one's fun.
We still watch Escape Room, have we?
Yeah.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh, you have.
Which one? There's two.
You watched the wrong one, Becky.
Oh, it was good, the one I watched.
I think you watched the wrong one.
Which one are we talking about?
So there's the Escape Room that was on Netflix, and there was one that came out in the cinema last year.
Okay, with Taylor Russell, Logan Miller, etc. Tyler Labine.
Yes.
That I haven't seen that one.
You watched the wrong one, didn't you?
It's good.
Pretty good though. The wrong one that I watched was good. I didn't try and watch it.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
But no, that
recommended to me.
That's good. And also, Coming to America is still supposed to be coming out at Christmas.
Nice.
I mean, let's see what happens. I 100% see Paramount selling that to Netflix and that being on Netflix at Christmas. Because Red Notice was supposed to be on Netflix at Christmas. That I don't think that'll be happening because they only resumed filming last week.
Yeah.
So, hey, by Coming to America, stick that on Netflix for Christmas. That'd be brilliant.
I'm just
Anyway,
not looking forward to films anymore. Once they drop and I can book them on Cineworld, that's
This-
what I look forward to them.
that's to be fair, Bex, that's the way to go. I think that's the thing that I've just accepted now. It's like and also in the summer, Netflix didn't have an awful lot that was interesting. Now Netflix has got stuff that's interesting pretty much every week. So, if and next week it's Enola Holmes, I'll watch that.
I won't.
Yeah, you will, because we're going to the podcast, so fuck you.
I'll watch something else.
Stop being a grump.
It looks awful.
Stop being a grump.
No. I'm pissed
Stop being a grump.
Let's do some what we've been watching.
off.
Because you were being a grump, that is. What are you watching, Becky?
I've only watched 2 on my own. I rewatched A Simple Favour. Do you know what? I really liked it when I first watched it, and I think I liked it more on a rewatch. It's a very good looking film, which makes it easier to kind of enjoy the storyline's kind of dumb, but it's clever enough if you don't pick it apart. As soon as you put any thought into the storyline, it's not great. But Anna Kendrick's great in it. Blake Lively's great in it. It's just kind of cool. And then obviously Blake Lively gets hit by a car at the end, so there's that. Yeah, really enjoyed it on a rewatch. And the other one that I watched on my own was the French film Cuties.
Oh, yeah.
Which
The controversial French film, Cuties.
yeah, which its French title Les Mignons sounds less creepy than Cuties, but obviously it's a direct translation. But yeah, I mean, obviously there was a lot going about this one, and I like to be able to have a informed opinion on these things. And there was a lot of stuff about it being creepy, and then there was all the controversy about the poster that Netflix chose to use to advertise it, and stuff like that. So I thought, you know what, fuck it, it's on there. I'm just gonna watch it and see what my own thoughts are. It's an uncomfortable watch, but it's meant to be an uncomfortable watch. It's claiming to be a commentary on children's misconstrued kind of desire to be what they see, and what they see is very sexual. So they're watching YouTube videos of dancers and stuff on Instagram of dancers, and then when they dance,
TikTok.
and TikTok, and then they do these dances that are completely age inappropriate. And I think there's 2 kind of things that I would say about it. One is when the girls are on their own and they're learning these dance moves, it's all very kind of, oh, this is a bit weird, this is a bit gross. As soon as they perform it in front of other people that happen to include adults, there's, within the audience that it shows, there's a couple of guys looking a bit pervy and enjoying it, but most of the people that are watching it are very much like, what is going on, this is gross. So there's that element to it, that in their heads they feel like they have to be this thing that they see in the bubble that is social media, but out in the real world it doesn't fly. But then on the flip side of that, for a film that's trying to get across that message, when they're filming the girls, there's an awful lot of close-ups and camera angles that you're like, if that's the message you're trying to get across, maybe don't do a close-up of this supposedly 11-year-old girl's crotch or ass or twerking or whatever. It's like, you're doing the exploiting here, like you're doing what you're criticizing other people for doing.
Yeah.
So
you're enjoying this a little bit too much.
Yeah, and like I think there's throughout most of the film, it's like, oh well, these are the ways the girls would film themselves, and this is the girls filming themselves, and that's what they're focusing on. But there's a bit where they set up like a static camera, and they're all performing on this like a walkway that goes over a railway line, so they're performing on the steps that go up to that. and that camera, that static camera they've set up isn't moving, but the thing you're watching, it is, and it's very much focusing on certain things, and it's to an extent I can see why people have an objection to it from that point of view. Not to an extent, I can see why people have an objection to it from that point of view.
Is it any good?
It's alright, it's quite interesting. I mean, it's about a Senegalese Muslim girl who has a very kind of sheltered life, and then her home situation's a bit weird, and she eventually finds out that her mum's being a bit weird because her dad's taken a second wife and he's about to bring her home. So her home life is all really kind of fucked up, and she finds kind of a place to be herself with this dance troupe. But because she's tried so hard to learn how to dance to get into this dance troupe, she's actually kind of studied more online what moves to use to get more views and things like that, and she's the one that then introduces these kind of sexy dance moves into the mix. So, but yeah, it's good. As a kind of study of the pressures on kids to be something they're not, it's quite interesting, but I just find the camera work a little bit exploitative at points, considering the age these girls are supposed to be. Whether they are or they aren't, they're supposed to be 11 years old.
Fair play.
Ian should not watch it. You won't like it, Ian.
No, I'm very much trusting you on that. You said that to me on WhatsApp the other day, and 100% I won't be watching it.
That's fair.
Anything else, Bex?
No, that's it for me on my own.
Right, on my own. I watched one movie. I watched Fletch.
Of course you did.
Because I love Fletch.
You do love Fletch.
I have the Fletch soundtrack on vinyl, don't I?
You do?
Yeah, that's how much I love Fletch. It's a fucking great soundtrack as well, is what I will say there.
Yeah.
Fletch is easily in my top 25 movies of all time. I have seen it multiple times, and each time I still laugh at almost all of it. Because it's really, really fucking funny.
I stand by what I said earlier. I think you like Fletch more than Chevy Chase likes Fletch.
That's fine. I am cool with that. But there are just moments where it's Chevy Chase at absolute peak performance Chevy Chase, and I think there are very few comedians who are funnier at their absolute peak than Chevy Chase. You can maybe throw someone like Eddie Murphy, for instance, in there. Jack Lemmon, I think you could throw in there. But there are very few that can do it that well. And there are moments where he just walks in a room and just starts saying stuff that is just clearly not in the script, and he's just making shit up. And you could almost see other actors having a rush off camera because they're probably just laughing at it as well. And it's quite fantastic, and I always really, really enjoy my time with it.
Yeah.
So that's the only one that I've watched on my own, and it's actually got a really good story as well running through it. It's not just zany. It's got an actual good story running through it that actually makes kind of sense and that is interesting and has intrigue in it. And the fact that it's done like a comedic noir is brilliant without being over stylized.
Yeah.
Whenever someone tries to do a comedic noir, they try to over stylize it to compensate for that, and sometimes it works. Like for instance, Hudsucker Proxy, it works. Other times it doesn't work. Like let's say Happy Time Murders, which we really liked, but let's be honest, the wider world didn't.
No. It did not work as such.
It did not work as such, but it's still, I'm remembering bits of it, and it's very fucking funny. Yeah. You know, a bag of shit yourself.
I've rewatched that.
It's brilliant, yeah. So yeah, I really enjoy Fletch. Ian, what have you been watching? Because one of our what we've been watching ties quite nicely into our next main review.
Very good. The one other thing I watched this week is I've been playing a lot of Tony Hawk and Fall Guys. I fucking love Fall Guys.
I've tried with Fall Guys. I got 4 along and was so fucking happy.
You got to round 4, yeah?
Yeah.
I literally got to round 4 for the first time yesterday, And I was also very happy.
I got to round 4 and I was really fucking happy about getting to round 4.
So hang on a second, Ian. So you've been playing this a lot and just getting like eliminated.
Oh yeah, man, I get fucked.
I don't see the pleasure in this game at all. Like, I watched Mark play it the other day and he was like, "Do you want to have a go?" And I was like, "No."
Oh, but it's so fun though.
It's one of those. It is an awful lot of fun. My only mild criticism I've got for it is you spend more time waiting for the game to start than you do playing the game.
No, I mean that's fair, but I don't know. It's colourful.
Yeah.
It's bouncy. The noises they all make, that I love it.
It is. I will admit, it is a lot of fun. I've not deleted it because I know that I will play it a little bit more.
I mean, between that and Tony Hawk, like, yeah. The thing is, a slight tangent, because I've only got one thing to talk about and what we watched. I'm finding myself a little bit adverse to kind of play, like, getting into anything again, because it's like I do want to try The Last of Us Part 2 again, but I'm waiting to see whether they say with PlayStation 5, look, get a PlayStation 5, you'll get upgraded versions of all these games for free or something like that. You know, like it, you know, so it's like with the Xbox Series X and whatnot, it's like these games will be that much more advanced and whatnot. It's like if they're just going to do a Last of Us 2 remastered like next year or something, fuck it, I'll just play The Last of Us 2 now and I'll get into it. I will. But so at the moment, I'm just playing stuff that's like is perfectly fine to play on a PlayStation 4.
I mean, let's be honest, the PlayStation 4 is still a pretty fucking good piece of kit.
Yeah, it is, but it's like The Last of Us 2 looks amazing. It does. It looks fucking amazing. But it'll look even more amazing on a PlayStation 5.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm enjoying Tony Hawk at the moment because I can pick it up, I can put it on, I can smash a load of buttons and ride around, and that's it. I can kill 40 minutes doing that. I'm not good at story-based games, whereas I'm great at pick it up for an hour, put it down for an hour games.
That's it. It's like if I want to do a story-based game, it's one that. Say hi, Keeks. Oh.
I like the fact that your background is still it's still unhinged, Russell Crowe.
All right, down now. It is indeed. Yeah, no, it's like I don't know. I like the games that I want, like the games that I really want to get into at the moment are just the big, like really expansive, nice looking ones, and they'll look nicer on a PlayStation 5.
I don't know how much nicer I want them to look though. I think you get a game that looks better than like something like Last of Us 2 looks, and you're entering like Uncanny Valley shit.
But I think we've had this thing for years. I remember 20 odd years ago going into a Virgin Megastore and they had the first Pro Evolution Soccer. And I remember looking at it and saying to my mate at the time, saying, fucking hell, they will never get a football game to look more realistic than this. And now if I look back, when you look back at that, it looks like shit.
Well, the jump between, because obviously Last of Us came out on the PS3, didn't it? Initially.
Yeah.
And then got a remastered version when the PS4 came out, and the jump on that was crazy, to be fair.
I mean, and that's one of the things there. We'll start talking about films in a minute. Sorry, folks. One of the things there is the fact that PlayStation 3 it was 30 frames per second, PlayStation 4 it was 60 frames per second. The PlayStation 4 Last of Us 2 is back down to 30 frames per second. You get me Last of Us 2 looking a little bit nicer, maybe true 4K, and in 60 frames a second, I'm down. I will play that. It's the same with Death Stranding. I've had a digital copy of Death Stranding I bought in a PlayStation sale for fucking ages. I played the first 4 hours and said, nah, I'm not sure about that, thanks very much. But now that, like, essentially it does kind of look like we're going to be in some form of lockdown for, like, the next 6 months or so, it's like, fine, do you know what? I'll take Hideo Kojima's mental 40-hour existential journey through our feelings. Why not? But I want to do it in the nicest looking possible way. So we'll see what happens tonight. if they don't announce anything about free upgrades and shit, then I'll start playing these games. And it's going to be brilliant. But I get what you're saying, Mark, about like you just want kind of games you can like dip into and whatnot. I don't know. It's that whole like people are talking about in like the first lockdown about like wanting to get lost in worlds and stuff like that, you know. And at this point I can kind of see that now that it kind of feels like the light at the end of the tunnel is an oncoming train. I feel like, you know, yeah, all right then, I kind of want to do that. You know, I like get lost in another world, or if I'm in this fucking world, just watch a bunch of stupid shit. Which brings me to That's My Boy, directed by Sean Anders, which was the one other film that I watched this week. I like That's My Boy. I'd seen it before. It was on Netflix. I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna watch this again. The thing about this film, it didn't do very well, and it basically presaged Adam Sandler signing his Netflix deal. It is not a film that would be made now, and this film was made 8 years ago.
Yeah.
No fucking way. So, as I mentioned earlier on, when I told Donna that the plot of this was Adam Sandler plays a guy who, in his teens, fucked his teacher, had a kid. That kid's Andy Sandberg, and now he's trying to get back in Andy Sandberg's good graces so he can pay off a tax bill. You say that, and it sounds like the worst film in Christendom. It sounds fucking awful, but there is stuff in this film that makes me laugh in a kind of haunted house kind of way. The thing that I shared in the boy chat the other night of the stripper upside down trying to eat a breakfast and drinking orange juice and then it all falling out of her mouth and over her face. There's something about that is making me laugh just fucking him like thinking of it. But I think that the Sandler-Sandberg relationship is fun. You know, it's this freewheeling spirit of people just having a laugh and not giving a fuck, which I miss. You know, it's a film that has no care for shit going on in the world and just wants to have fun with itself, and I appreciate that. You know, it's like Coming to America last week. That film's just fun. I'm just watching films that are fun at the moment, so I'm very much looking forward to covering LFF, but at the same time, I've got to make sure I'm in the right headspace for those films. Brandon Cronenberg's Possessor, I'm sure it's going to be good, but am I going to fucking need to have a couple of drinks just to get through it? That's the question. That's My Boy. Let's go back to you guys for some films, one of which will lead into our last review of the evening.
So we watched randomly on Sunday afternoon, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
We watched Draft Day, didn't we?
Mm. Yes, we did.
Nice.
Which I'd seen before and you hadn't, had you, bet?
No. American football and their whole drafting recruitment system confuses the fuck out of me anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. But the film is, the thing is, it's nowhere near as good as this, but I'm going to use it as an example. The film, like something like The Social Network, is way more entertaining than it has any right to be, with it being about the subject it's about.
I would say more like Moneyball.
Yeah, it's a similar sort of theory, and it is playing off the success of something like Moneyball. It's Ivan Reitman wanting to try and kind of do a bit of a Moneyball thing, but then still throwing little bits of comedy in there and little fun, little quirky bits that are in there that feel, I don't know, that feel like they would actually happen.
I kept saying to you, didn't I? So do they not get a choice in it? No, Rebecca, they don't know. They get drafted where they get drafted. What if they don't want to move to that place? They just have to go. But like, what if their family's in a different place? They just have to go, Becky. Right, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a really entertaining, fun movie.
Yeah.
About something that actually in reality is quite dry.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
And it's a really, really fucking great Chadwick Boseman performance.
It's not in it a huge lot.
He's not, but he's fucking brilliant when he's in it.
What are you up to? Sorry.
And so yeah, and it's always nice seeing Dennis Leary turn up and stuff, even if he does look a little bit in this, constantly look like someone's lesbian aunt.
Which one was Dennis Leary?
He was the coach.
Coach Penn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Did the bit.
He did, didn't he? Yeah. But yeah, it's a good time with watching it again.
It was definitely a good Sunday afternoon movie.
A good Sunday afternoon movie. I think that did we have lunch while we watched it?
We might have had lunch while we watched it. We don't really normally like to eat while watching films, do we?
No.
We can fully concentrate.
What else do we watch though, Becky?
We watched Deep 2C.
Deep 2C.
Also known as Deep Blue Sea 2.
They fucked up on these.
They did, yeah.
Yeah. It should be Deep 2C and Deep Blue 3.
Yeah, it should.
It shouldn't. It's not difficult, Hollywood.
It's not hard.
It's not hard, Hollywood.
Replace words with numbers.
Yes. You explain Deep 2C.
Well, Deep Blue Sea 2 is basically just Deep Blue Sea with a tittier girl.
She's fantastic though, isn't she?
She's just got big tits, Mark. She's kind of shit.
No, I thought she was really good at it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was it because of her gigantic tits?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not normally a boob man, but it did work. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed Deep 2C.
I mean, it was fine. If you like Deep Blue Sea, you like Deep Blue Sea too, because the story is basically the same.
And I like Deep Blue Sea.
But the acting and the production value isn't as good on this as Deep Blue Sea.
It's not, no, but I respect it for that.
I just wanted that fucking titty girl to like zip a wetsuit up at one point in the movie.
I don't think it was possible. No.
You said it was probably her.
It probably would. It's like that guy who just doesn't wear trousers at all. He just always wears his wetsuit, even when he's not. He doesn't even need to be in his wetsuit. He just has it half pulled down. You know the you're painfully not Thomas Jane guy.
Yeah. There's something deeply unattractive about a man that isn't in like peak physical condition wearing a wetsuit as well. Deeply unattractive.
It does seem a little bit like when they decided to make Deep Blue 3, like they went, right, we'll rewatch Deep Blue Sea and then we'll rewatch Deep 2C, and then we'll work out what we're going to do in Deep Blue 3. Yeah. And then when they watched Deep 2C, they went, right, what we need to make sure we do is, apart from the geeky guy, every guy has to be buff beyond the limit. So the point of where they would normally stop and go, I think you're okay now, they have to go a little bit further than that.
What, in number 3?
Yeah.
Well, no, because her little friend guy that she works with isn't.
What, the geeky guy?
No, the other one. That dude.
Oh, yeah, he is.
I mean, he's like old.
And he's... Yeah, we'll get to that when we talk about Deep Blue 3. No, the guy's fucking pretty ripped, Becky.
Is he?
Yeah, he is. They actually even reference it several times in the movie.
I didn't look at his body because he was old.
We'll get to that in Deep Blue 3. But yeah, I really enjoyed Deep Blue.
It's fine. Like it's enjoyable enough, but I feel like it's tried. Whereas Deep Blue 3 kind of does its own thing, a bit, sort of, a bit.
Yeah.
Deep 2C doesn't at all. It just tries to do the same story again.
But it's kind of fun.
It is kind of fun.
And it's kind of mental.
And there's some good kills in both of them, to be fair.
Yeah. And it's kind of mental, the fact that it literally is that he's taking this weird serum that they've used from the sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ian, what's our next review?
Deep Blue 3 is directed by John Pogue and stars Tanya Raymond, Nathaniel Buselick, Emerson Brooks, Bren Foster, Alex Batt, Raina Ayi, Sia Mayola, and Iyumile Kwongwo. Let's go with that. Apologies to that man. Deep Blue 3 is a film which arrived as a DVD screener in my house. I haven't had a DVD screener in probably half a decade. And the site that I write for, Vodzilla, Ivan, the owner of the site, emailed me and said, "Hey, you said you were kind of interested in reviewing Deep Blue Sea 3 like a month ago. Yeah, Warner have said they'll send us a DVD. What's your address?" And then a few days later, a fucking massive box turned up. And I open it up from Technicolor, and and there's just a bunch of airbags and then a DVD copy of Deep Blue Sea 3. Just wow. So Deep Blue Sea 3. It's basically set off the South African coast, is it?
Yeah.
And it's this almost like shanty floating village, I suppose is the best way I could describe it. And some climate change vloggers are filming there, and they are interrupted by a bunch of dodgy guys who are tracing some genetically engineered sharks.
The genetically engineered sharks from Deep 2C.
The ones from Deep 2C.
In Deep 2C.
So the main shark in Deep 2C, plus some of her babies.
Plus her babies that she said, "Oh, we forgot to mention the babies."
The piranha babies.
Yeah, in Deep 2C.
Yeah.
So there's basically
So Bella gives birth to a litter
of
shark pups.
Yeah, of shark pups that literally just act like piranhas, leading to somebody saying, "So basically they're like piranhas." Yes, but they're sharks.
This led to a whole conversation of Mark going, "That's not what baby sharks look like." It was very much a similar conversation thread to "That's not what baby horses look like," and then his mind being blown when I showed him a picture of a foal. It was very similar to that when I found him a picture of a baby shark.
It would appear like baby mammals confuse me.
It does appear like that, yeah. But searching for a picture of a baby shark on Google Images now is really difficult.
Yeah.
Given the Baby Shark song.
Yes.
It's just all screenshots and that shit.
Yeah. So yeah.
Sorry,
tangent. Yeah. But
Yeah.
that's the sharks in Deep Blue 3.
I'm quite right. So I haven't seen Deep 2C. Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Giant breasts, then you'll really enjoy it.
Sure. I mean, like Tanya Raymond is not a bad-looking lady, but giant breasts would not necessarily describe her. You know, decent. Don't get me wrong. Very weird seeing Alex from Lost being ogled by the camera. Very odd. I'm going to start because I don't have any connection to Deep 2C. I thought this was a lot of fun. I know Mike and Paul have talked about it on Shin Stroker vs. Punter as well. In the Pod Syndicate universe, this is like one of the most widely covered films of recent history. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was fun. It's a very simple premise. It knows exactly what it is. It's got one of the best reveals I've seen in quite some time, where literally the underwater, they see something coming towards them, and you see the person like steering that thing, and literally Donna was sat with me, and I just said, "Please tell me he's got the other half off. Please tell me he's got the other half off. Please tell me he's got the other half off." And oh yeah, he had the other half off. And then the fucking incredible kill of bad guy decides he actually wants to be a good guy, goes off to try and help the good guys, jumps overboard, immediately eaten by shark. Fucking incredible.
I also like the kill where the two guys were fighting and he lifts him up in the air.
He alley-oops him.
Yeah. And the shark gets him.
Yeah, that was pretty good as well. Yeah.
Assist.
I mean, yeah, it's a film that knows what it is. I thought that, like I kind of mentioned, the camera mind-boggling, Tanya Raymond. Like, it's kind of weird that everyone else gets to wear a swimsuit, but like a wetsuit, but whenever she needs to get in the water, it's down to her skimpies. I get it, but I don't know. It just felt a bit odd.
I feel like people don't dive like that.
There's also, yeah, I mean that I think that's it. It didn't. It sounds stupid, but it didn't make sense for the character. It feels like is the world kind of maybe moving on from that, maybe, but maybe I'm just a fucking snowflake. I don't know. I'm sure Mark didn't have a problem with it in the slightest. No, there you go.
To be fair.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I can't say I had a problem with it. It was a little bit like, come on now, John Pogue. Like,
There was plenty of shirtless men in it.
I know. Yeah, I suppose there were, but they were all bad guys.
Chick be a bad guy.
That's true as well. But anyway, yeah, no, I knew exactly what he was doing, had a lot of fun, and got the fuck out of Dodge. Bex, what do you think?
Yeah, no, to be fair, I really enjoyed it. I liked it more than Deep 2C, less than Deep Blue Sea. But at least it was trying to do its own little thing. And like when they're like, oh my god, basically they're like, in number 1, what they did was they tried to harvest this stuff from the shark's brains, and then in number 2, like without saying it obviously, they tried to do this thing to make them smarter so that when they harvested it there was more to harvest, and then we're trying to help people by doing this, and it's like, you're not though. But it kind of tied all of them together, because like Deep 2C, when you're watching it and it's like, oh, okay, so hang on, Deep Blue Sea, they were trying to extract something from the shark's brains for people with like dementia and stuff, and yeah, big pharma and to make money, but that's why they were doing it. And then number 2, they were putting something into the shark's brains to like make them smarter. Like, I get like as an experimental thing, but if that's what you were trialing, you wouldn't trial it on sharks, you'd trial it on like monkeys.
How do monkeys look at a bad rat?
Because they're close to humans genetically. So like Deep 2C didn't make as much sense plot wise, but then when you get number 3 and it's like, oh yeah, well we're trying to make them smarter, so they've got more of the smart stuff to extract for the people with the dementia. It's like, oh okay, that's fine. And they were actively trying to tie up threads, and it just feels like more effort was put into this one than number 2. Story-wise, I thought it was good. I thought the bad guys were sufficiently shady and bad. Even the bad guy that turned good, he was a bit of a dickhead. And there was only one problem that I had with it, and that was the lady that actually lived on the floating island.
Oh, they just forget about that.
Yeah, like she's so sidelined in this movie. She is the one who lives there. She's the one whose home that they're destroying. And then like when they get attacked, it's like, oh, where's Spin and Maya? Where's Spin and Maya? And it's like, there's the other lady as well, guys. Like she's
the one who just lost her husband.
Yeah, the one that just lost her husband to your fucking freak sharks. And they just completely forget about her. And then
that bitch.
And there was another bit where they just completely forget about her as well. Oh, the last shot when they're on the boat and she's rowing. And the other one's
that's right.
There doing fuck all. And they find the other girl in the cupboard, and then they both sit, and she's still just fucking rowing on her own. It's like, what the fuck? And yeah, and I really wanted her to get the kill. Like, when she throws the harpoon at the guy, I really wanted that to be the kill for the main bad guy.
Yeah.
And it didn't get him.
No, it didn't.
But she's so sidelined, and like now, if that came out like now and got a wide release and was watched by humans that don't work on Pod Syndicate, everybody would be up in arms about it, because it feels very kind of, it feels very, oh, we're sidelining this black character. And I know that it's like a whole thing in horror movies that historically black guy dies first, and it's now referenced and jokes are made about it, but it isn't cool. Like, people reference it and make jokes about it because we now recognise that isn't cool. and just for this poor widowed lady to just get so fucking sidelined at the end of this movie, it just feels kind of criminal. And she's really cool. Like, she's a cool character.
Yep.
So yeah, that bothered me. But apart from that, I really liked it.
Oh, very good. Oh, nice one. What?
Yeah, it's fun. Like I think, like you said, Ian, it knows exactly what it is. It does exactly what it says on the tin. I'm gonna say in a weird way, it's a brighter looking movie than the other two. In a weird way, it reminded me more of something like Piranha 3D.
Yeah.
The movie from I think 2011 or something like that. It reminded me more of something like that than the Deep Blue Sea films.
Well, it's a bit of a departure from them because it's actually outside, whereas the other two have that kind of claustrophobic trapped in there.
Yeah, and I thought that was quite nice of doing that. Then trying to get a climate change angle into it. It is nice in the fact that they're always trying to push these causes within these silly little genre movies. It does seem to have a bigger, not budget, but it's a little bit more polished than Deep 2C.
Yeah, it feels bigger budget, even if it's not.
Yeah, I like that all the performances are good. I like the fact that it goes proper bad guy as well.
Yeah.
You know, they just become. It's almost like halfway through filming they just went, "Oh no, mate, you're a shit bad guy. We're gonna get that guy who can do loads of fucking spin kicks. He's gonna be the main bad guy now. You can piss off." And he's gone, "No, I'm the main bad guy." And they've gone, right. He gets eaten by a fucking shark. All right, I don't like him. He gets eaten by a shark. Okay. Yeah, all right, you're the main bad guy, but you're going to turn good. Got to jump off here. I reckon that he's filmed an entire little bit where he's a good guy, and they've gone, wait until he watches it.
The thing is, we were saying, weren't we, that bit where, what's he called? The bad guy. The Eurotrash-looking bad guy, Lucas.
Yeah.
And he's shooting at Nandi, Spin, and Maya with his Nerf gun, his explosive Nerf gun.
Yeah.
Very colourful for a explosive cannon shooter. I feel like, why would they bother?
It really is.
But anyway, and I was like, why are they not trying to stop him? And then it kind of shows them in the background, and they're both kind of, like in fight scenes in movies where like they're clearly not supposed to get in on the fight, but they're just kind of like undulating on the side of the thing. Like they're doing that and like both kind of holding each other back.
Like non-playable characters.
Yeah. Fucking knock him over. Stop him shooting at your friends, one of whom you don't care about.
Yes.
Yeah, that was an odd little bit.
Yeah, but as well, another thing that kind of bothered me about it was them constantly referring to that guy as being, when he goes to him, I've been waiting for a chance for this. Come on, old man, let's see what you've got. And I'm watching it going, you look older than him.
Yeah, that was mental.
Like I'm desperately on IMDb trying to find out which one's older, but neither of their date of births are listed. But it's like you look like you've got a good few years on him.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it's exactly what a trashy genre pick should be. It is the most sci-fi channel of movies that I've watched in recent times.
Yeah.
But it's fun. And will they do another? Will there be a Deep Blue 4? Which we'll have to work out how becomes Deep Blue. How we work out a 4 into that somewhere. Yeah, they will do. Because this has got way more traction, this movie.
It'll be the Force of the Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah, it'll be something like that. Yeah. And will we watch it? Yeah.
Of course we will.
Yeah.
Kill a shark movie.
Why not?
Bloody right. I'd watch the fourth.
And it's going to happen. The mental thing is, Deep Blue Sea came out in what, 99, 2000, something like that?
Yeah.
The sequel only came out in 2018, and then this one came out in 2020.
Nice.
It is literally like the rights for it ran out, and somebody just bought it.
Yeah. We're making more of these.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Yeah, definitely not shit. Definitely
Definitely not shit. Yeah, an awful lot of fun is what I would say about that one. And our audience poll, Deep Blue 3, definitely not shit, 50%, and touching cloth, 50%.
Yeah, I could see an argument for Geostorm on this one.
You reckon?
See an argument for it.
There's definitely an argument for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
More so probably number 2
What?
as a Geostorm.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think you could. I think I'd probably rank it as a Geostorm. Number 2, for sure. For sure.
Oh, show.
Yeah.
Right, let's have some questions.
We have from Rick Kid at Rick Kid. Letterboxd informs me that I am coming up on having watched 5,000 different films, so I'm racking my brain to think of a suitable film I haven't seen to be number 5,000. With that in mind, what film should you have seen that you haven't?
Wow. That's interesting.
So
Schindler's List, probably.
you've not seen Schindler's List?
No.
So is that because you don't want to be miserable and made to hate humanity for 3 hours?
Yeah, basically.
Isn't it kind of uplifting though? Doesn't he do a nice thing?
I would never call Schindler's List the feel-good hit of the summer. No.
I'm not saying feel good, but like he's
No, it's not uplifting. It's miserable to watch. It's well-made misery, but it's still miserable.
I know I've seen it, but I think I've blocked it out of my memory.
My thing about Schindler's List is it's very good, but to use an Ianism, it is very much eat your vegetables.
Ah, okay.
Hmm.
In that sense.
Oh, films I should have seen but haven't, probably. That one we were saying about the other day that I always fuck up on the name of.
Son-in-law, the Polly Shaw movie.
No.
Yeah, you should have seen that.
No.
Tommy Boy, the Chris Farley movie.
I will go to my fucking grave happily having never seen a Chris Farley movie.
Well, fuck you.
Fat Man Fall Down isn't funny.
I disagree with you.
No. Oh God, what is it? It's the cowboy one. But not really cowboys. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. That one.
Gone with the
City
Wind.
Slickers?
Yeah. I've never seen Gone with the Wind.
Oh, you've seen City
Oh,
Slickers.
I've
right.
seen City Slickers, yeah. No, Gone with the Wind. I should have watched that by now.
Yeah, you probably should have. But again, it's so long. It's longer than some mini-series. Wait,
I should probably get around to watching To Kill a Mockingbird at some point, seeing as it's my favourite book.
Yeah, you probably should do that. I should have seen it. There's loads that will stand out. I can't think of one right now. There's got to be somewhere.
Yeah, it must be.
Like a big classic. Never seen Rio Bravo.
Oh, Rio Bravo is good.
Yeah, I've never seen it. Not seen it yet, and I don't know how I've not seen it.
Is that a cowboy movie?
Yeah.
We like cowboy movies.
Yeah, I should probably watch that because I bet it's fantastic. But I've never seen it.
I've never seen The Great Escape, but by all accounts, it's not that great.
No, it's fine. It's weirdly placed as being a great British movie, not set in Britain, not made by a British filmmaker.
Yeah.
And not starring a Brit.
That's always confused me, that.
Yeah, with a score written by an American that then some twat band plays at every fucking England game for no reason other than what it was always on at Easter when their dads were growing up. So fucking odd flex that we have in this country, it really is.
There'll be more. There'll be way more.
Yeah, obviously there's always more with things like this.
Casablanca would have been my answer a couple of years ago, but I finally got around to watching that, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'm glad I did as well. No, I'm changing my answer.
You can just add to it,
Oh,
if you can think of what it is.
Yeah, it's the How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Doctor Strangelove.
You've never seen Doctor
You've never seen
Strangelove?
Doctor Strangelove? Wow. Okay.
That will be right up my fucking street as well.
Yeah.
From reading about it.
Have you not seen Doctor Strangelove?
Because you're fucking watching with me.
Good fun that is.
Oh,
I mean, it's kind of
Watching with me.
regret hitting your ankle there. Didn't you?
Little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of want to cry.
Yeah, don't blame me on that one. I've not seen Barry Lyndon.
4K on iTunes is Doctor Strangelove, by the way.
Yeah.
Good transfer.
We have another question. That was from George, but it is on my Instagram and I've got to get to it.
Jordan T. McGrath.
Yeah. Jordan asks us, favourite goal you can remember from your chosen football team scoring?
Ryan Giggs, FA Cup semi-final, Arsenal 99.
That's a solid shout, that one.
Anything in the latter part of the Champions League final in Istanbul.
Any of those three? Which one?
Any of them.
Any of those three? Which one?
I can't. I'm not good at
The Gerrard header.
The penalty shootout ones. I love fucking penalties. You know I do. I am an absolute pain in the ass bitch for penalties. If I can will a game through the power of positive thought to go to a penalty shootout, I absolutely will do.
Penalty shootouts are horrible and they should not exist.
No, I love a penalty shootout.
No.
Extra time should not exist if you can't fucking do it in 90 minutes.
Yeah, extra time should be abolished by now. It's ridiculous.
Just go straight to penalties.
Yeah.
I love a penalty shootout.
Do you know what?
That was the fucking best game to watch. Like, it was back when you could still. It was back when you could still smoke.
It really wasn't.
Smoke in pubs as well.
Yes, and I nearly killed myself smoking during that game when I went through 40 cigarettes in 2 hours.
No, you didn't only go through 4. I went through 320 decks.
I was literally changed. But I think at one point, one of our friends who was watching it with us turned around and said, Mark, you do realise you have 2 cigarettes on the go.
Oh, my.
I was like, do I just think? Yeah. Like, what can I do?
I'll tell you what, right? If COVID hangs around and whatnot and the world's turning into shit, that's something that can make a comeback.
Smoking.
Cigarettes, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Fuck it. I mean, that's the thing. It is fuck it, isn't it?
Yeah. To be fair, I've got to the point now. I've been quit for a long time using like an e-cigarette or my Juul. I'm a basic bitch. Yeah. And I've got to the point now where if I'm on a night out and someone offers me a cigarette and I'm like, actually, yeah, I don't mind a cigarette, I can quite happily have one because I know that I don't actually smoke. And I can have one and then the next day just go back to using my e-cigarette. Makes me happy.
Cool.
Looks cool.
No, it don't. It's painfully uncool.
No. It's gross. So like you wake up the next day and you're like, oh my god, why has something died in me?
No, I thought you meant what is it? No, smoking sadly is still cool. But then the e-cigarettes are painfully fucking uncool.
Yeah.
I'm going to two-part of this, my answer to this, in the sense that I'm going to answer it. One, I'm going to limit myself to having to actually be there. Okay. And two, just in general. For sheer emotion, and I'm sorry about this, Jord, and I genuinely am, but for sheer emotion, it was Divock Origi's against Tottenham in the Champions League final. Because we watched that in the cabin, didn't we? And it was fucking hot as fuck. And I basically hadn't drank much during the day, and it was on really late. And we were there for our anniversary, and so we were only there for like 3 days, weren't we? Mm-hmm. And so I'd not really drank much during the day, and I didn't drink during the game because I really wanted to properly watch it. And scoring that early left me really nervous. And I get quite nervous when I'm watching big Liverpool games, don't I? Mm. And so I'd started watching it sat back. And by the time it got to that point, I was basically squatting on the floor, just watching the game, just kind of shaking. And it really had got me. And then when Divock Origi scored, I kind of had a bit of a breakdown, didn't I? And just started just sobbing uncontrollably for about the last 10 minutes. That was from like the last few minutes of the game to the game finishing, just sobbing in the corner.
It was a good anniversary, wasn't it, babe?
It was, yeah.
Fuck you, football.
So yeah, there was that. Another one would be, yeah, that probably is that one. But actually being in the ground and watching it, and again, I promise I am not picking these just to be a twat.
I mean, it sounds like you are.
I'm not picking them just to be a twat.
Was it against Manchester
It was against Manchester United. Yeah, and it was the season before the Premier League season started. Before Premier League started. So for anyone under the age of, I would say, 32, 33, football existed before 1992. It's amazing, I think, but it did exist for quite a while before 1992, right? And in the last season of the Football League, as it was before we had the Premier League, it was neck and neck between Leeds United and Manchester United. And Leeds had played earlier in the day, and I think they'd beaten Sheffield United 1-0, I think. And then Liverpool were playing Manchester United. And we went 2-0 up very early on. And the second goal was scored by Ian Rush, and it was the first time Ian Rush had scored against Manchester United in the league. He'd never scored. 346 goals for Liverpool. I think he was on about, at the time, I think it was about number 310 or something like that. And he'd never scored in the league. He'd scored in the cup games against United, but he never scored in the league against Manchester United. So it's the first time he'd done it. And literally an entire ground singing for the next 80 minutes. Always look on the bright side of life. For literally 80 minutes at United fans was, at the time, it seemed like a good idea. And then literally the next 20 years happened, and you look back on it and go, oh, weren't these simpler times? United at this point hadn't won a league for 24 years. We'd won one like 3 years before, and it'd be all right. Now, 30 years later, we've just won one.
Yeah, the smugness probably wasn't.
It wasn't a good idea, but at the time, it felt okay. Yeah, so yeah, it'll probably be that.
Fair enough.
It was
you
a really
guys
good
need
goal
to
as
do
well.
a football podcast and get all this out of your system in another avenue, so I'm not just like going, yeah, cool.
The problem is I could talk about football for literally hours.
Ian wouldn't even get a fucking word in edgeways, would he?
Literally, and it wouldn't even need to be about it. You could literally just say to me, so Matt, we're covering in this mini-series, we're covering the position of right back. And I'd be like, right, brilliant, let's fucking go. 5 hours later.
I'm not entirely sure I'm up for that.
I don't think anyone is. It would be a lot of is anyone still there?
Nice.
You could just do it on your own. Like, get people to send in like subjects, and you could just monologue for 3 days.
I think it would be the most self-indulgent thing.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
But if anyone wants to listen to that, I will happily do a Pod Syndicate bonus show, which is just football questions, and if you want to ask me them, and I will happily do that show. So there you go, Film Masters listeners. If you want that podcast, send me questions. I reckon I could get an hour out of just like maybe 3 questions.
I mean that, yeah. Easily.
So thank you very much for that, John. I promise I didn't pick that goal just to, be a twat. My second goal actually was Steven Gerrard's volley against Middlesbrough, which is absolutely beautiful, and I could watch it all day long. Same with Torres's against Blackburn.
Fuck Torres.
I could keep going with this. Anyway. I also like Mo Salah's from this weekend, where if you watch the footage from LFC TV that doesn't have any of the background noises, just before he finished it, and it's a hell of a finish, you can hear Jordan Henderson just shout the word, finish! And so they did like a supercut of every angle of the goal, but all you can hear is, finish! 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 And it sounds a little bit like a Mortal Kombat game.
Any shit. Nice.
So that was our questions.
Very good. So, coming up next week, we're back to Netflix for our premium content. Who the fuck knows when we'll review a theatrically released film again? Will it be Death on the Nile? Will it be Black Widow? Will it be No Time to Die? Will it be The Croods, A New Age? We'll find out. But we do have Antonio Campos' new film, The Devil All the Time, which is getting some mixed word, it would seem. So
I'm more up for it getting mixed word than if it was getting...
Yep. I agree with that. We'll find some other bollocks to talk about, I'm sure.
We've also got Playing It Forward, which we are actually recording. We were supposed to record it last week, we didn't. We're actually recording it this week, I think.
Next week.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay,
Sunday,
fuck
yeah.
for that. Sorry?
Is it this Sunday or is it the Sunday after?
I thought it was a little bit up in the air. Anyway, we're going to be doing it at some point. Podsyndicate.com. You've got His Film, Her Movie. You got the Iron sequel, Chin Stroker versus Punter, Beyond the Neon, What's on Tap, Entertainment Landfill, and us, obviously. Patreon content has been a little bit quiet over the last couple of weeks because we've been taking a little bit of a break. Ian's Guide to Bondage should be back in the next week or so. I'm ever so slightly reticent because I think as soon as I put that up, they're going to delay No Time to Die again. But I know Andrew Jones wants to talk about some Tomorrow Never Dies, and that's the next one I need to cover. So we will get on that. We also want to do the series of talking about the F-rated films on Cinema Score, even though Matt Singer, noted critic, has today put out an article on Screen Crush, I believe, of his ranking of the F films, and it almost feels like we're copying him. We're not.
We
had
could
this idea fucking ages ago. I'm sure he's not. Okay. But so that'll happen at some point, I'm sure. I think that's about it. It's 15 minutes till the PlayStation 5 reveal and I want another beer, so I'm going to get the fuck out of Dodge. So thank you very much, Mark. Thank you very much, Becky.
Thanks very much, Ian.
Thank you, Ian, for hosting.
This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearePodsyndicate.com.